It's like
Oh,
you're in a new spot, Ocean. You're in Spain now.
Yeah, I'm in Spain now.
Nice.
Yep.
You kind of settled? Obviously, it's
For the
been like
most part,
one
to be
day.
honest, I've been
Yeah.
here since I've been here for about a full day now.
Right.
But it's not too bad. It's not
mm.
it's not like a mad time difference because I was coming from London,
Of
so it's
course,
calm.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
How much did you have to bring with you?
I bought a very basic studio setup, just
Mm.
small audio interface, a few camera gear, and have you guys tested out the Unit 4 by Lala?
Nah.
Nah.
The monitors that are essentially latency free Bluetooth. This isn't sponsored,
Oh,
by
you
the way.
mean the IIIs, the
I mean,
III
yeah, my bad,
speakers.
not
Yeah, it's
Lala.
like la la.
Oh,
AI.
right. Yeah, you tripped me out with Lalal speakers. I was like,
You know why? It's because when you look at it, it kind of looks the same,
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
like the
I know what you
writing. But
mean.
yeah, AI. My bad.
Yeah, it's like back. It looks like it's like it's back to front almost.
Yeah,
Mm.
Like AI la la. Yeah.
I've
Nah, I
got that
haven't
with me.
tested them yet. But we're all rocking the headphones. We need to get them involved as a sponsor, man.
Yeah, I need an official
Yeah.
sponsor for the
Yeah.
pod. Get them on board, hopefully.
Are they clear then? Are they nice monitors?
Yeah, they're really clear. They're latency free. They're not too heavy.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, this sounds like a sponsored
It
read, but
sounds
I'm
so
just being
good.
honest. I do like them. I think the best thing though is that they just look sick.
Yeah, just the
Mm.
wireless factor.
Yeah, it just looks
Mm.
nice.
I'm big
Yeah.
on wireless stuff. Like, if there's anything I can do to kind of clean up my workspace, like I've got them plugged in
Oh
just to
my
save
God,
battery
yeah.
today, but anything I can have to clean up my workspace, like wireless mouse, wireless typing keyboard,
Mhm.
I'd love to just get to a point where there's just no wires on my desk. Surely
Yeah.
that's got to be a thing one day.
Definitely, it's all coming.
Yeah. Yeah, one by one.
What
Yeah,
you
where you
guys
gonna
been
go
up
to in Madrid then, Ocean?
Honestly, I'm just trying to make music, as much music as possible.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main focus right now. I feel like I've been stuck in this phase for a while of just making music, and I've
Yeah.
got some tracks lined up to the side. I just want to keep making more tracks. At the end of, let's say, a month or two, I have a ton
Yeah.
of tracks that I'm ready to drop that are good
Mhm.
quality, and then I can just formulate a plan from there. But I just want to get the product right first, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's good that you're able to focus that much time on music. It's been a while since I've been able to do that, where I've just like pushed everything to one side and just focused on the music.
Mhm.
I feel like
Yeah, man.
we always have these conversations of like how hard it is to balance like music and marketing, business side, YouTube and everything, but it seems like you've put
That's the
music on
thing.
the top at the moment.
Definitely. But like you said, when you do that, everything else kind of drops.
Mm.
So, for example, like the business side isn't really taking care of the YouTube videos. They're coming out, but they're not as consistent as as I usually am.
Yeah.
But I think I'm just going through trying this thing where just phasing things in. So
Yeah.
music now, but then there'll be a time where maybe I drop the amount of time I spent on music and just switch to that. I just focus on the business and YouTube videos again and content. So
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
just time periods, I guess.
If only
Yeah.
we didn't need sleep.
Oh
I
man,
Could
know,
have
man.
half the day on music and then spend the rest on business or chilling or whatever.
yeah. But then
Mm-hmm.
we would naturally, as humans, we probably just find a way to procrastinate
Oh,
Oh yeah.
100%.
or just
Yeah.
make up some excuse in their minds where it's like, I'm creatively tapped out today. Let's just chill.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
I hear that.
We'll find
How
a
much
way.
time do you think you spend chilling now? Like, because you're making music and then obviously you're still taking care of YouTube and everything. How much time do you think you
I
actually give
do
yourself to chill?
I do spend time chilling, but when I chill, it's not let's binge 10 hours of Netflix. It's more
Yeah.
like let's go to the gym, let's go for a very long walk, let's go to a restaurant.
Mm.
Let's I'm trying to find ways to input, if that makes sense. So input in inspiration. Where can I take inspiration from? Where can I just like clear my mind? So when I do sit down, I'm just free to create.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find things that are productive in a very passive way, if this makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not trying to just like do bullshit. I'm just keeping my mind active in different ways. So somehow it affects the creativity. Yeah, no, I was just gonna say every now and again, yeah, a Netflix show here and there, a movie there, here and there. But remember, like when we was talking to lifestyle, how we just enjoy as we get older, we're enjoying the boring stuff. I really
Mm.
enjoy just going on a 2 hour walk sometimes,
Mm.
or just hitting a gym, getting a pump, listening to music. Just very
He's a simple
to the
man.
outside world
Just wants
boring,
simple
simple
things.
life, man.
I hear that though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I definitely hear that. Like the only things I really do, like every now and again, I don't know. Holidays are like my favorite thing to do, like just traveling and
yeah.
seeing stuff. But obviously, you can't do that all the time. But day
Mhm.
to day, like when I think about when I have my most chilled or best moments, it is literally just like going for a walk somewhere when the day's nice, or even just doing something simple like going for a coffee with the boys just to catch up and chat.
Yeah,
Very
Yeah.
simple stuff. That's
yeah,
all I need.
definitely, man.
So
I've,
Yeah.
I
I've,
don't. Yeah, we're gonna say I'm not like too harsh on myself anymore. Whereas like
mhm,
before, I used to be so. I'd feel so guilty if I took time off to chill
mhm,
or like go link up with the boys or whatever. But now, I think because I've put like a good few years of like hard, solid work in, and plus I'm outsourcing for things, it's like now I don't feel like if I just take a little break without going too far that way, like everything's gonna be cool. Like I used
yeah,
to think, oh, if I stop this, like if I go on this break, if I take these days off, then everything's just gonna come crashing down. I'm gonna lose everything, but it's never that serious. Like
yeah,
yesterday, for example, I had a tattoo day, so I'm obviously like missing a big part of like a working day. But I was done by like 1 p.m. and then I was like, I could either go home or the boys were saying, oh, I should go catch up, get a coffee whilst I was in Huddersfield. So I was like, fuck it, let's just catch up.
mhm.
Went for a coffee, had a nice day,
Yeah.
chilled. Everything's still the same. I haven't lost my YouTube channel. Like it's all good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
On, I
Yeah.
know people kind of demonize breaks sometimes, but I feel like a break can be way more productive than not taking a break and just always trying to push and force
Yeah.
things. And sometimes you have to just let it flow. I do take breaks regularly. Like sometimes, I think maybe 2 weeks ago, I was making music every single day, but I kind of
Mhm.
just hit a point where in my door, I just felt like I was staring at a black screen
Yeah.
and nothing was really flowing. Everything just seemed too constructed. And there's a time and a place for that to just be disciplined and just push through it, which sometimes I do. But I feel like in your gut, sometimes you can just tell. You can tell, like, okay, let me actually just step away for a few days. And you step away for a few days, you come back, and it's just like flows again.
Yeah,
So I
definitely.
feel
Yeah.
like you can definitely take breaks in a constructive way. It's good for you.
100%.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, definitely. You got, I think at the end of the day as well, like, you've got to live your life as well. Like, you can't just be in that circle, in that bubble, like 24/7. Some people can do it, but
Mhm.
maybe not like sustain it for, years on end. But yeah, you got to like just step away, make sure you're spending time with family, friends.
Yeah, man.
Because,
I
like,
think that's the artist side of things. When you think about what art and music is, it's all just your experience and your perspective
mm,
kind of through the
yeah,
art. And that's what we love about artists. But when you don't live life, you kind of don't tap into that sometimes. But
yeah,
then
Yeah.
definitely.
it's also like the side of you got that side, the artistic side, but then the business side of you, the entrepreneur spirit in you is like,
Mm,
come on, let's hustle, let's keep pushing, let's keep going, let's advance. So
Yeah.
yeah.
it's like a very nuanced balance.
Hey, do you think you could be like 100% artist, no thinking about content ideas or anything like that, and just 100% focus on the music? And let's say you got like some deal where you get like a huge advance that you can live off of for, a couple of years or however long. Do you think you could do that and then not even touch the business side? Or do you like having, like switching between making music and then, looking at the numbers and thinking about product releases and stuff like that?
I do enjoy the business side too, but I think the art, I like the balance, and I like kind of tapping into both sides. To be honest with you, it would be really nice to just do the art, but then you do need a team around you that's gonna do the business side. Otherwise,
Mm,
it's kind of not going to work. It is the music business. You do need to marry the two.
Yeah.
So if you could get a team and you're happy with doing maybe like a 360 and you trust these people, then could be the move for you if you don't want to focus on that too much. I do like both sides. What about you guys?
I don't think my brain would let me be creative all day.
Yeah.
Like if I didn't have anything to do with the business side and it was just like, right, every day you're just getting me sessions making music and that's it. I think my brain would be fried, man. Like usually in a day if I make like 2 beats, for example, I'm cool with that. I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm fine after that. I've got my creative juices out and then the rest of the day I actually enjoy the business side as well. So yeah, I think I'd struggle to just do the artist side. Sometimes I think it would be nice though. You know, if you're doing like sometimes you're just doing some mundane tasks like you're uploading videos to YouTube and doing the tags and everything. Like some stuff gets a bit repetitive, and then you kind of envy the people who are just like making music and getting placements all day. But
Mhm.
then I don't know. I don't think my brain would like allow me to be that creative all day.
I
Mm.
hear that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I was watching there's I don't know what YouTube channel it is, but they're basically doing what Genius did with the deconstructed beats. But some guy was breaking down the beat he made for Don Toliver. It was like
Mm.
it's kind of like rock. It's like a rock melody and then like trap drums. I can't remember the name of the song, but you'll know it if you heard it. But yeah, it was just talking about like how often he sends packs out, and he said at the time he was making beats for Destroy Lonely, and he was sending them like 2 beat packs every day. And I'm like, fucking hell, like he
Wow.
must be just making beats solidly for like 8 hours a day, something crazy like that, to send out 2 packs every day. I'm like, I don't think
Yeah,
I've got
Yeah,
that
it's
in
he's
me.
heavy
turned
that.
himself into a machine,
Yeah,
pumping them out.
yeah, exactly. So
If there
I thought
was
that was
if
kind
there
of
was a way
crazy.
where, yeah, like you said, you got some like huge advance and it was like, right, you've got full creative control, do what you want, money's there. It would be kind of nice to spend a few years just kind of going at your own pace, making your own music. But it just because you're talking about like a deal, it depends on what came from that deal and what was expected. But yeah, if for example you were making a living off just like releasing music without even being signed, just like releasing music when you want to release it, and you let's say you were getting like even like 10K a month from like streaming, for example, I think that could be a nice life because you could still do whatever you needed to do. You could still do the business side, but I don't know. Then you just like releasing music when you want to release music. That's like it's rare that it just happens like that. Like you can just put music out and then you just get money back from it because obviously you
Mm,
do need the business side. But that could be a nice life if there was no expectations. You would just
yeah,
put the music out that you wanted to put out, didn't have to worry about anything. Obviously, that sounds like a dream to everyone.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I wonder what if music would be different if that was the case. If there wasn't a business side to it, and you just had to, it was just put out your best music. There was no thinking about like, what's the structure of a pop song? Like, what does it need to sound like?
Maybe people would just be a bit more creative, or they'd be less fearful. Because a lot of
Mm,
people probably release music with the intention of thinking it's a hit or thinking they've got to have this certain sound because it's what's popping at the moment. But if there's no expectations, then I think people could drop that fear a bit and just release the music that they actually wanted to release.
it's strange, isn't it? I feel like it's just one of them things where you'll never know. But yeah, I guess there is people. I guess there is a lot of people out there that do music as a hobby, and they do just literally make whatever they want. But I guess just you never really, obviously, you never hear about those people because they don't
It's
they
just
don't
a
do the
hobby.
business side. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm.
exactly. So
Yeah. Again, I guess it depends what you want out of it. Like obviously if it was just a hobby, then you're free to just do kind of whatever you need to do. But then if you're an artist who wants to take it serious, then you just have to think a bit deeper than that. There's got to be a strategy involved.
Yeah.
yeah,
Music obviously has to be amazing, but there definitely has to be a strategy and some sort of business sense, whether it's from you or a manager or a team member.
mm, yeah, for sure.
Especially in 2024.
Yeah,
Good music
100%.
is just uh, almost, I don't want to say a tiny part because it's important, but it's just not the only part.
Yeah,
If it is, then it's an exception where your music is just so good that it cuts through everything, and everyone is, you know, dying to listen to it.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's a lot more to that.
And
Yeah,
that
definitely.
can happen. Like you've seen it sometimes where it feels like songs have just kind of blown up out of nowhere.
Hmm.
But then when you actually like deep those songs, a lot of the time it's those people pushing it constantly on TikTok, for example. Like they just, it's not like they just upload it to Spotify, do nothing, and then all of a sudden everyone hears it and it's a banger and it's going crazy. There's usually
Yeah.
some sort of promotion involved.
Yeah, it's just because you've seen it for the first time, you just assume they've just come from
Yeah.
nowhere, but they really haven't. Like people that maybe followed them before will
Yeah.
know that yeah, it's taken maybe 5 years to make that to get to that point in making that one song that then blew up overnight, but it's not overnight. It's like a Trap Queen, isn't it? It's like Fetty Wap. He said he was pushing that song for like a year straight before it blew up. He was just going
Oh
to
yeah.
traveling to
Releasing it
different
like every day.
cities. Yeah, traveling to different cities, going to nightclubs, and then just trying to just get it in every DJ's set, and then yeah, got some radio play, and then eventually it just like caught wind and took off.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's so much faith in one song to just push that for a year straight.
definitely.
Hustle mentality.
It's interesting the stories behind songs that eventually do pop, because some do just pop very organically, but then some,
Old Town Road. That's like the prime example.
Yeah,
Although he was pushing it on TikTok a bit, but that felt like it did. That was like one of those lottery tickets that just, I don't know. He basically just hit the lottery with that track.
yeah,
Like
Yeah,
him
and,
and the producer.
and catapult with it. But then sometimes as well, you think that a song is organic, like you were saying, LB, but there's really just a big story behind it. Maybe there's huge investments and stuff like that. Like I remember ages ago, I was listening to a podcast with Fat Joe, and remember the song All the Way Up? It was like the summer song, the banger of like 2015, 2016.
Mm.
And he was saying for him to make that song pop, he invested like 150K to just in promotion, just
Oh,
to
yeah.
get it like to
Get
the
it going.
tipping point. And then once it got to the tipping point, that's when things just kind of snowball and naturally keep going.
Damn, that's crazy, man. That's such a big upfront.
It's a huge
Upfront
upfront
investment.
cost.
Yeah,
But then he's
Yeah, it's
probably
wild
made
to
that.
think.
It's almost like an investment. Like you put that in, but then you make 10 times more back.
mm.
And there's still no
Yeah.
guarantees.
That's no
They will make
guaranteed.
that
Yeah,
back.
Yeah, no guarantees.
I feel like
And
a
I
lot
guess
of people
that's-
do just look from the outside and they won't know that backstory. They'll think, oh, this song's just popping, so
Yeah,
all I need to do is just release music. I don't need to do anything, and one of these songs will start popping. But they don't know the whole backstory or the come up story of the artist or producer.
hmm exactly.
yeah, it's crazy.
What would you
man.
do if you, in 2024, like if you were starting off now as an artist, not producing, like literally just like rapping or any artist, I guess, what would be your game plan?
That's a good question. If I was a rapper, first of all, I'll just get the tracks together, get the songs together, kind of tease them out on social media, kind of get a vibe of which ones people feeling, which ones are not the ones. Take it with a pinch of salt, because if you believe in a song, then you believe in it. But still, just try and gauge, see what the vibe is through your social media. And that actually might be tougher, because if you don't have a good enough portion of people, then it's hard to get enough data. But work with what you can through TikTok and stuff. And then, honestly, just release independently, consistently, and really push your songs. Even though it might seem like spamming, but if you can find a way to make really good content that people can relate to, but also aligns with your vision in some way, then just keep pushing in those songs and keep building your streaming numbers.
I hear that. I think the same,
Yeah.
really. I think I won't focus on music videos as much as people used to. I think I'd aim to post like at least one piece of content every day. I'd just do like lip syncing videos, like even before the tracks have come out.
Yeah.
Because you could do like one every single day, and each day could be like a different part of that song, or even just like the same part of the song but in a different location. You could just spend a day like filming. So let's say you had like 7 tracks. You could post a snippet of like each of those every single day on TikTok, and then each week you'll just post like either a different part of the song or the same part of the song in a different location, just so you've got all this different content to post. And then you'll end up knowing from the numbers which song is the one you want to focus more on.
Yeah.
So for example, you're pushing those 7 week after week, and then there's one in particular that just starts getting like more traction than the others, that's getting more engagement. Then at that point you might think, maybe I could do a music video to this one. People are liking this one, or I'll just put more emphasis on this one. So you start filming more content, and whether it's the catchy hook part or like a sick part of the verse, whatever it is, just like every single day I'd be pushing that. I've seen that happen so many times with artists these days, where they've just been pushing like one song in particular for so long on TikTok, and everyone's like, release it, we need the song, we need the song. It's almost like forcing it down your throat. Obviously the song has to be good, but you don't know the reaction from people until you post all those clips.
Yeah.
And the only way to get that reaction is by actually making the music and then posting the videos to see what people say.
Yeah. I know it does
And that's
seem
free.
it does seem spammy to an extent that you keep having to do it and do it. But it seems like that's a fight for attention these days.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the good thing about it is, for example, let's say you post 10 videos and 9 of them only got 500 views.
Mm-hmm.
Realistically, that's only 500 people that have kind of glimpsed it. So to us, it seems like we're spamming, right? But really and truly, no one's even seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one's seen it for
So
sure.
you can just keep going and going.
Yeah.
And if it's a really good song, like you say, if it's like the one that is the one that connects with people, like they want to have more of it anyway, even if it isn't, just like Jay said, just in a different location, like that Rucci LSE, or what his name was, the guy that did the it was like last summer, the guy that kind of sounds like Pop Smoke, B.I.G., Notorious B.I.G., the British guy. It's like, are you down with me? He made that song and he posted it. Literally, I saw it so many times. Like, he'd be in a convenience store rapping it, then he'd be in the studio. Yeah, and he just spammed it for like a good 4 months before he even dropped a music video. And by that point, I kind of knew all the words to it already. So
Yeah.
Just
you're
from
right.
seeing it on your feed constantly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen this method by quite a few artists.
Kairo's doing it
Keys.
quite well right now.
Yeah,
It doesn't actually bother me that I keep seeing it. To be honest, I'm just like, yeah,
It's a good song. Yeah, I want to
going.
hear it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
kind of enjoy it, to be honest with you. Just different takes of it, and
Yeah,
it
Because
does
you'll
seem to
notice as
be-
well. I
does
don't know
seem
if
to
you
be
guys have
working.
done the same, but you'll when you start hearing those songs, like on TikTok, there'll be songs that I hear maybe once, and I think, yeah, it sounds cool, I might drop it a like or whatever, and you keep scrolling. By like the 5th time you've seen it, you might be like, you know what, let me actually go to Spotify and add this song.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But if you
Yeah.
only posted that one piece of content, you might get a like, but no one's really tapped in. But because you keep seeing it and keep hearing it, you're like, you know what, this is actually a hard track, and then you'll add
Yeah.
it to your playlist.
that's that thing with marketing. They say usually you need about 7 touch points before someone really registers it and takes action.
exactly
And
that.
that was years ago. So now with
It's even
everything
more now.
going, it's probably double that. Probably you need
Mm.
14 touch points, unless the product is that good. In this case, music. Because every now and
Yeah.
again, I'll scroll through TikTok. Very rarely will I come across a song and be like, "Whoa,
Whoa.
let me
Yeah.
go to that right now."
Yeah.
I can think off the top of my head one track that I've done that maybe in like the last 6 months, where I've heard it immediately and I was like, I need this track on Spotify right now.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. What song was it?
Most of the time, it's just I need to keep seeing it.
What
The
song
one
was
I
it?
did
Also-
that, Yame. Have you heard of Yame?
Nah.
He's a French singer, right? He was on you know that show Colors,
Yeah.
where they just do the performance shots and it's different color in the background. So listen
Yeah.
to Yami. I think you pronounce it Becane, Becane. This guy's his like image is just pretty unique. He almost looks like old school like Danny Brown or something. Like he's missing his front tooth.
Mhm.
But the way this guy sings, yeah. So when you listen to that track all the way through,
Sorry.
Yeah.
Just looked at him now.
He's just got like a crazy vocal range, and then
Yeah.
it's just so unique when you listen to him. And there's a part of the song where he goes like real high pitch, and the whole track just sounds crazy. But it just wasn't like anything I've heard before. So when I heard that, I was like, yo, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that was one that I added to my library straight away, and I've been rinsing that. But that's
Yeah.
so rare that actually happens.
Trust me.
Yeah, his voice, I just listened to it a bit now. I remember seeing that clip, and his voice literally sounds like an instrument, or
Yeah,
it doesn't sound real, does it? It's so crazy.
it's crazy.
Yeah, I think
And he's
the
blown
only
up
song,
from that song.
yeah, I think the only song I've really like had that with as well was probably Cairo Keys,
Hmm.
Gang.
because that really stuck in my head.
Yeah,
And then it's called Leith. The rapper's called Leith, and like the way he mixes his vocals is like really strange. The song's called Fallback. You'll recognize it if you hear it.
Four Bats
yeah.
as well. He stood out to me. Again,
Really?
just something kind of
Four
unique.
Bats, yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I'd
the
say
Leith songs.
one for me where I actually remember I was sitting on my sofa and I was scrolling TikTok, and then I just come across this disclosure post, but the vocals in that song just got me. I was like, what the fuck is this? And then it went into this crazy jungle break, and I was like, no, I need this on Spotify right now.
Mm,
But I got to be
Yeah.
honest with you as well. There's a couple of songs that I keep hearing as I'm scrolling, for example. But a lot of times I don't actually go to Spotify to listen to it because I keep
I know what
hearing
you
it
mean.
within the app,
yeah.
yeah.
which is
Even if it's
that
a good
makes sense.
song, it's like
Yeah.
fuck, yeah, you just don't find yourself.
sometimes the snippet is just good enough.
Yeah, I hear that.
yeah.
So
There'll be a lot of
I'm
people. If
wondering,
you're
like,
hearing it that much, there'll be a lot of people that have actually added it to the playlist.
Mm.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
really curious to see what the average number is, what the average touch point is, to finally being like, okay, let me actually stream this. And you know what's kind of sad as well is once someone does take that action, right, you put in all this effort in your content to finally, after 15 times, someone goes to your Spotify to press stream. Maybe they stream 10 times. It's not in the grand scheme of things. Like,
It's
to make
not.
to make for that track to make money, you really need a ton of traffic.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
it's
exactly.
doable, but it just takes patience and consistency. Because think about like how many people actually like a Yame or have a song that has made you do that just in like the first touch point.
Mhm.
So if you're a rapper who's just spitting over like trap beats or drill beats in the UK, for example, like how are you going to sound different to everyone else that's doing that?
Mhm.
Because
Mm.
everyone in their head
Yeah.
thinks that they're crazy unique and the best rapper and everything, because it's just what rappers are like. But the reality is you probably sound similar to a lot of people out there. So cutting through that
Mm.
noise is going to be really hard. To do something like that where you save it at the first touch point. So
Yeah.
like you said, Ocean, even though people think it's spammy, it has to be done. Like it just
But
has to
also-
be
Yeah, it
done.
has to. Yeah.
What you mentioned about Yame, I think, is that the guy's name?
Yeah.
Yeah, Yame.
It wasn't even just the music. Like the music, yeah. You said like the voices was crazy and
image.
everything, but you was
Mhm.
talking about his gap teeth, which is another
Mm.
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
it-
But I think
Intriguing.
even if I just heard that song, it would have made me like tap in pretty quick.
Mm.
But I think everything together, like yeah, that image, like the big gap in the teeth, and just like it was just a voice. Like if you heard the voice, you wouldn't picture the face with it.
Nah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Yeah, it was super unique.
Yeah, so that it
But yeah,
definitely
yeah.
helps.
I think you're right, Jay. Like it is, like I think it's a common thing in it when like a lot of new rappers, maybe within like the first year or two of making music, they get really good at like spitting over rap and trap beats and like drill beats, but they get so far down that path of using beats that they know is like the wave, or like they took inspiration from like Central C or something, and then I mean you're just doing that style for a while, they get good at it, and then they think they're popping, but they're not. They're just a copy and paste version of a rapper they got inspired by. I think it
Mm.
takes like a year or two for them to do that style and then realize like, hey, now I can just split off and I know the rules, I know my flow, I know like got the foundations of rapping and writing and stuff, and now I can just go ahead and kind of break the rules and same with producing, I guess. Like you sort of start off making a certain type of beat over and over, and then you don't get well, like, you might get bored of it, but then you've done it that much that you're good enough to then just break all those rules and try something like super different.
Yeah, definitely. And I think there's just an
Yeah.
ego attached as well with releasing content. A lot of people have the mindset of they don't want to be posting on TikTok because they're not that type of rapper. They're not trying to be a TikTok
Yeah.
rapper. Like there's still stuff being said like that, or they're not happy with the number of views that they're getting. They might be posting, they're just getting like 100 views, 200 views, and they're like, oh, I'm shadow banned. Like they'll just throw that out quick because
Yeah.
people don't want to. Like it can hurt your pride if you've just spent all that time on a track and you put it out and it's getting like 50 views on TikTok, but you're gonna
it's
have to
hard
get
be
through that phase.
Objective about your own stuff.
Yeah.
Because for example, I can look at a YouTube video, other people's content, and be like, "This is sick," but if they did this change,
Mm-hmm.
I think it could be way better. Or I could see where people are going wrong really quickly. But for myself, it's so hard to do. Because
Yeah.
if it was easy, then I would have done it, and then maybe the video would improve. But you have your own emotions attached to it, your own outcomes. So the best thing you can do is try and be as objective as possible about your stuff, and it takes time to just let go of that.
Yeah.
Especially
definitely.
because art is so personal.
Of course.
Yeah.
But the business side needs to be like, this is the reality, this is it, this is that. Let's
It's an
make
interesting
those
one for you,
yeah.
Ocean. So if you can look at other people's YouTube channels, for example, and be like,
Yeah.
I think you should improve this and that.
hmm
Watching LLB's channel and my channel, if you were watching, well, you are watching from an outside perspective, but
Yeah.
watching our videos, what would you say to us to change? Or in your head, what would you think we could change?
Delete everything.
For you, Jay, it would be harder because I got to be honest, I haven't seen like the recent videos for a while. But for
You don't
like,
watch my videos, guys.
it's
Well, your
been a while.
friends.
Do you know what? I did watch the last one though. Actually, when you was in the Airbnb,
The Airbnb.
The
Yeah,
water
yeah.
tank one.
that was cool.
Yeah.
I feel like that's probably more your style because a lot of my other ones are just like tutorial based, so I could understand why you
And
wouldn't
that's
be
the
watching
thing.
those.
It's objective as well, right? Because it's my perspective,
Yeah,
and I think LB's channel is probably more closer to my channel
yeah,
in terms of style.
yeah. That
Mhm.
makes sense.
I'll just give you an example. Maybe I should have probably messaged you as soon as I saw this, but I think I saw like a recent TikTok of you, LB, on my feed, and I thought, okay, the color grade is just a bit too dark when I'm looking at my phone, and I turned up the brightness and it was just a bit too dark, and I felt like,
Okay.
okay, if you just change this and made it brighter, it makes it way more of an easier watch.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Just something
Which
as
one
simple
was
as
that? Do you know which one that was?
Nah, but because this was like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I should have just messaged you, honestly. But with TikTok, you're just so fucking passive.
Oh
I
yeah,
know.
I
what
don't
you
really
mean, man.
deep half the stuff
Yeah.
I take in with TikTok. I'm really just, I
Yeah.
could be just, I sat down for a second, I'm waiting for something to load. All right, let me just check my stats on TikTok. But then
Yeah.
the TikTok feed hits you in the face. So you even forget about your TikTok stats for a second.
Yeah,
And scroll
yeah.
mindlessly for about 5 minutes.
I'm such a
Yeah.
sucker for that stuff, man. As
It's
soon
too
as there's
easy
like
done.
anything I need to wait for, like a beat's exporting, web pages loading, like anything, I'm like, all right, better check TikTok or better check Instagram. It's so
Yeah.
bad. And then before you know it, I'm just caught up in the algorithm scrolling.
Yeah.
It's
But
so
you know,
easily
you know
done.
what would be cool? If we one day sat down and did like a hot seat. So I sit in the hot seat, we analyze 3 of my latest videos. You tell me, this was good,
Yeah.
this was good, but you know what? This bit was shit. I kind of zoned out on this bit. This bit needs to change.
Mm-hmm.
And we
That'd be
kind
good,
of just
actually.
get an opinion of what could I feel like that could be somewhat beneficial for us for sure.
And for
could
and
do
for the
that.
viewers, to be fair, because I said we could do that on the pod.
Yeah, I was literally just thinking that. Even if it was
Yeah.
just like one video each, just to start with, 1 or 2 each. 'Cause people might be interested in seeing that.
Yeah. Because I'm sure there's a lot of people making content and they're just kind of making it in their own style, but not they've not got a lot of people to give them feedback. So yeah, that
Yeah.
could be quite cool. But yeah, it's so hard. I struggle with like short form content. I feel like
Same, man.
I'll sit down and make it, but like there is an art to it, and there is like when you're watching other people's like we know we all should be doing it. We should really be looking at the people that are killing it and just reverse engineering what they're doing and then just putting it in our own way. But I don't know about you guys, but I'll look at stuff and I'll be scrolling and like, oh, that's sick, that's got my attention, and then I'll put it down, and then I'll go and film like my short form content for the week, and I'll just make it dead dry and like, oh, I'll just listen to a beat. And I'm not even like doing anything that caught my attention
Yeah.
when I was scrolling. If that makes sense. It's just a routine, I guess.
Yeah.
Bad habit.
Do you know what I find with short form as well? I feel like with short form, way more than YouTube, sometimes doing someone else's format just doesn't translate.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I feel like with YouTube, for example, we've all somewhat done a sample challenge,
Yeah.
and that format is proven. People enjoy that kind of content. But let's say I tried to do a Shansi video, it might get some views, but it doesn't
I was
necessarily
literally just
translate.
thinking of him
Yeah.
because his energy is so contagious, isn't it?
Yeah,
So I can see why some of his content will like outperform a lot of like mine, for example. Whereas my personality is just so opposite, just chilled.
Mm.
But like you can watch one of his, and because he's like dancing, he's energetic. It's like just fun to watch.
mhm.
Yeah.
But then if we tried that, it might just look a bit unnatural. And we wouldn't get the
Yeah.
views.
What the fuck's Jay doing dancing in his
Yeah, why is
dancing
he
in the studio?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I hear that. I know what you mean, Ocean. It is tricky. Like, yeah, all the
I think
concepts
you
we've
really
done.
got to find yourself.
Yeah,
Which,
for sure.
in some ways, it counters what I'm saying about. For example, I look at your video and think you need to do this, this, and this to improve it. But then also, there's an element of you needing to do what you do, and it could work.
Mm. Yeah.
It's like that fine line.
I hear that.
Yeah.
I find with short form content, it's so hard as well to actually work out what's working. Like I've been posting pretty much every day since the start of the year, and even when I look at my analytics and see, I still can't see a pattern of what's working and what's not. Because I'll post a variety of different content. Like I'll do some tips, I'll do some like cooking up a beat, maybe some like just listening to a beat, putting a loop out there for producers to flip. You usually just like go back and forth between different styles. But when I look back, it's like some of the tip videos have banged, some of the cook up videos have banged, some haven't. Like, it's like there's no consistency in anything. It's just like, yeah, I still can't figure out like what's actually working. So maybe sometimes you do just have to keep putting out a variety, and then some will hit. But then when you come across other pages, you find people that have really found their like style. And it's
Yeah.
like they keep
Yeah.
on posting that style, and it just bangs and bangs. So it's a tricky one, and it's hard to figure out. I think looking at the stats is going to help, but then I don't know, like the stats, it's just confusing me even more because there's no like clear path. There's nothing that just says, right, do this content because this is the one that works.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
hit and miss for everything.
I find that
We
with
just gotta
YouTube
keep
as well,
finding
though.
it.
Like, I'll have like a 1 out of 10, and then I'm like, sick, right? Let's do that. Let's do that one again. Similar style,
Yeah.
maybe different topic, and then next one like 10 out of 10. I'm like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, same
Like,
here.
Can't win. Yeah.
I do think my ratio with YouTube has gotten better though. Most of the time, I have a feeling that if it's going to be a 5 out of 10, it probably will be. And if it's going to be a 1 out of 10, probably will be. Usually it comes down to the packaging, but mainly the idea. I kind of know when the idea is going to pop. And sometimes also when I feel like I'm being so risky, where I'm really not sure it's either going to bang or it's going to flop hard, it kind of does that.
Yeah.
Like it's either a 10 out of 10 or a 1 out of 10
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
can feel it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do find the analytics a bit more easier to understand in YouTube and give you somewhat of a direction compared to short form. Short form, I still feel, where do I go?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tricky.
But maybe also it's because we've just been doing, for me, I've been doing YouTube a lot longer than short form stuff.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you'll see more of a pattern with YouTube. But even then, like you said, there'll be like one video that gets 1 out of 10, and then you do something similar, and then it's 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
what is this? Like, what's happening? It's rare that you find someone like Kyle Beats, for example, who was doing finding a underground artist to work with. You know, when he started that type of trend, it was like every video was banging for him.
Mm-hmm.
It's rare that happens with producer content. Like there's just an
Yeah,
idea like
I
that
think-
that someone's just stuck to like almost every time.
Yeah, I think there's only like I can only really think of 3 people that's where they've like really just banged views and not really had to worry about how often they're uploading, but they're just stuck to one kind of style. I'd say it'd be Kyle Beats with that style because he kind of just came out of not out of nowhere, but like it was a new style that he went for, and then it just immediately banged and it just went crazy.
Yeah,
like every
went
video
viral.
went crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So there was that him. And then more producer style, I'd say Kavi. Like pretty much every video he drops goes crazy too.
He's got a consistent style as well, yeah.
Yeah, like more just with like the talking heads and then the edits over the top.
Yeah.
And then like Simon Savida, like he'll just drop every now and like no like regimented schedule, but most videos like pop off.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm confused on Savida's stuff because his thumbnails and stuff they don't really grab my attention that much, but they still bang. Like they still, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of tricky to put my finger on.
I think he's really entertaining. I think that's what
Yeah.
does it for him.
Yeah,
Like
for
his
sure.
personality is very YouTubey. Like it's like perfect for YouTube. I feel
Yeah,
like people
definitely.
who are watching can like stay engaged throughout the whole video because he's quite
Yeah.
funny. He's like energetic, and he's talented as well. So it's like it's
yeah.
cool to watch.
Yeah, I love his I think his short form content out of all like the content creators, I'd probably say his is up there with like one of my favorites. I don't know, he's just like has a different hit to it. Like it just feels like more viral than not just music production. I don't know, it just hits different, his stuff. He's really smart with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Like he did
I hear that.
he did that Genius like take on
that
producers.
went viral.
Yeah.
They posted it, didn't they?
Oh, did they? Oh
I
shit.
think so. I think I remember them posting it.
Yeah.
And that Kendrick Drake one where it's like
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
another switch up. Something like that.
Yeah, that was sick. That was funny. Yeah, he's really good at that.
Who else is there? I'm trying to think who else has amazing content like that.
In production.
Oh, there's this guy called, I think he lives in Berlin. He wears a balaclava. It's called like
is it called
Location.
London something? Nah, not London something. What's?
Yeah, London's Location.
Oh yeah,
London
yeah.
Rain. London Rain.
Yeah, he's pretty sick actually. He's quite unique.
Yeah, his aesthetic is like kind of like like retro. The music is crazy, like super unique.
Yeah, it's a good example actually.
Yeah, he's really good.
We're just switching it up. Have you guys listened to any new albums? There's been a few big ones dropped recently. Eminem's is going crazy right now. I think
Is
it's taking over Taylor Swift. It might even be #1 right now.
Damn. Did you see Travis Scott overtook Taylor Swift as well? Ticket sales.
Oh man, I saw that outdoor show that he had. Like 80,000
What the
people.
fuck?
That
Yeah.
looked crazy.
When Fiend was playing, it just looked like like
It's insane, wasn't it?
proper demonized. Yeah, there was like fire everywhere. People were like flares, smoke. It looked insane.
Yeah. Yeah, that looked fucking crazy. Like Travis Scott's
Yeah.
shows always look insane, don't they?
Yeah, the energy is just ridiculous at his shows.
That one looked like just another level. That's so many
Yeah.
people to be at one show.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. Yeah.
But did you listen to M's new album?
I haven't taken it in yet. Is it good?
No.
No, not yet.
I
I
actually
heard the
liked it,
concept
yeah.
was good.
Yeah,
Like
I
he's
think it's
killing
sick.
Sim Shady or something.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like the old Eminem that we all used to love. Because he had like a few albums like in between. Obviously his first few was sick, and then he had some like in between ones that maybe people weren't feeling as much.
Hmm.
I think he was going through a thing where people were like, "Oh, we want the old Eminem back," and then he'd try the old Eminem. People were like, you're too old for this, Eminem. We want new stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like he literally couldn't win. But with this album concept, it's kind of like killing off Slim Shady. So a lot of the stuff, it's just the stuff he's talking about, man. It's just like raw, rugged, like old Eminem with some like
That's sick.
comical factors in there as well. But the beats are hard. It definitely
Is
gives
the
you that
beats,
like
like-
old school vibe.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to ask.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a modern version of his like old stuff, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Probably the best way of putting it. You still get that old feeling, but some nice like modern drums and everything too. So I thought it was sick. I've listened to it like a couple times. It's like a good gym album to have on. There's a lot of energy in there,
Must see it on
so
tomorrow.
I'd recommend it. But he's had like a crazy response. He's doing really well with it.
Yeah. Let's say that in. I haven't really listened to any
Morrison
new
put out
albums
a
really.
project in the UK as well. I haven't finished listening to that yet, but that's sounding good so far.
Mm.
Because a lot of the signature guys work with him quite a bit. So like HL8's on a lot of the tracks.
Yeah.
All the usuals from down there. Been getting placements on the album.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to take a listen to him. Have you heard Chip and Nafe's project? Not heard that yet either.
Nah.
But
Nah, I haven't actually. Behind on that one. Have you?
No, I haven't heard it either. It's not getting as many streams as I thought it would, to be fair. I'm just looking at it now. I think the
I
biggest
knew it was
one
coming
is...
out, but I didn't actually know they released it.
Yeah. Biggest one is on 700k. And then after
Oh,
that,
okay.
it drops down to 600, 400k,
Right.
100.
I'll check
yeah,
it out though.
Yeah, I've heard one. I think I've heard one song off there, which sounds quite nice, like just wavy stuff.
I don't know if it just hasn't fallen into my algorithm, but I haven't seen that being pushed like once recently. I've heard some people talking about it, but I haven't really seen much. But maybe it's just not falling into my algorithm.
Yeah, yeah, I've already seen like tons from it. To be fair.
Who do you think's got the best album of 2024 so far?
I don't even remember who's really released.
Yeah, same. I haven't really, I haven't really been on albums like that. Yeah.
A lot of people say that, like not as many people taking albums. It's just like tracks that they hear that are popping.
I was
Just singles
watching,
at a time.
I was listening to a very interesting video on YouTube. It was like a video essay breakdown of our album's dead. Do people even care anymore? Because I think Pink Panther, she recently did an interview where she was saying that she doesn't listen to albums, and when it came time for her to make an album, she didn't really understand what to like the direction of it. She kind of just put her track list together, and people were mad, saying that the tracks maybe don't flow the best way they could have done. She was saying, yeah, because she's not an album person. It's more like she'll check out a single from someone. Maybe now I don't know if this is what not new people, but like younger people, I guess you could say, are doing. I personally like to listen to albums because I like the concept, but I think it's also because it's the way how we kind of grew up listening to music. We were still young where you spend a tenner on a CD, and take it in from bottom to the top.
Yeah.
People don't know the struggle of that, man. You want to listen to new music, we had to actually leave the house, go into town and buy an album.
Yeah.
You couldn't even listen to it at first. Like eventually they introduced something where you could like scan it and preview the track, but you'd hear like one or two songs that were either on the radio or on TV or something, and then you'd have to go into the shop and actually buy the album. And then you take it home and if the album's dead, you're like, fuck.
Yeah. Did you ever buy an album and just think that was a waste of money? Like maybe was it like an album where you thought, oh, this is gonna bang, and then you listen to it and it's just
I gotta be honest with you. I think because I had to listen to the whole album, eventually, because you listen to it so much,
you like it.
To like most tracks, it's like at least 60%.
Maybe. But when I was younger, like to find new artists, I literally used to go into the shop and I'd like go into HMV and I'd see what cover just grabbed my attention and just kind of guess. If it was, usually I'd be like buying someone's album who I wanted to listen to, but then sometimes I'd just be like, I want to find some new stuff, so I'll just look through the covers and be like, this guy looks pretty sick, I'll buy his album, and then you'll take it home. And then there's definitely been some times where I've been like, this is kind of dead.
Waste of money.
Not really a fan of him,
Yeah. What would you say has been like the one that's been the most memorable, like the most memorable album cover? What would you say?
Album
Kanye
cover.
West, the very first one, I was very like, whoa, that's kind of sick.
Mm,
Yeah.
Because I remember spending money on that.
yeah. What about you, Jay?
I'm trying to think what I remember buying.
I just thought of another
Like,
Remember Michael Jackson Invincible? He's like one of his last albums.
one.
And what he did, yeah, you could buy the album, but all of them, it was the same picture of his face, but different colors. So some people had the red one, I had the white
Oh,
one,
okay.
there was a blue
Right.
one, a yellow one, a white one.
that's pretty
Right.
sick.
Which is kind of smart because some people collected all of them, so they had the multicolor.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is smart. Yeah.
The ones I can like vividly remember buying are like Nas albums. I'd always buy his Eminem's albums.
Yeah.
Obviously like D12 as well. And then
Mhm.
I remember Redman albums. I remember a Ludacris album that really stood out to me. It was the Chicken and Beer album. I don't know if you remember it, but
I remember that one.
I remember
Yeah.
that cover standing out to me, and that was one I was like, obviously I knew who Ludacris was, but I was like, I just bought it because the cover stood out to me. I was like,
Yeah.
let me give the album a try.
Yeah. I remember Akon's one stuck out to me. The first
yeah.
one that he
Oh
did.
yeah,
And then the Eminem ones, because he had like that series. There was like the curtain call. It was always him on
Yeah.
stage, wasn't it? And then there was like the encore. Like there was those ones which I really liked. And then there was the one that stuck out the most was probably 50 Cent Massacre album cover.
oh yeah,
Or The Game, the documentary cover.
Oh,
yeah.
that
That's true
was-
that cover
actually.
is iconic.
It's
Yeah.
iconic, because I was after that album when I was a kid for so long, and I used to love like How We Do, and obviously you can't listen to it whenever you want when you're back in that day. And I just used to love the beat, and then obviously 50 Cent and The Game were on it, like my favorite rappers at the time, and they didn't sell it in any shops in my hometown. So like whenever I was out in like a bit further out and I go to a supermarket, I'd be like, I really want it, but obviously didn't have money when you're a kid.
Yeah.
So it took me ages to get that album, but I was banging that album when I finally got it.
I remember that album, having that album as well.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
that
really
was
liked
sick.
Hate or Love It. And I
Oh,
used
of
to
course, man.
kind
That's
of
a
wait for
fucking
that song
classic.
to come on MTV Base.
Yeah, the
And I
music
remember
video was
finally
so
getting
sick
it.
for that. It was like
Yeah,
it's like
kind of
GTA
gave you
style,
like GTA. Yeah,
Yeah.
literally just about to say
Yeah.
that.
like Compton, like San Andreas vibes.
Yeah,
That
he
was
really
hard.
took you into his world with that album,
Yeah, 100.
which is
like,
why
yeah,
he did,
albums
man.
are so good because
Yeah.
it's more than just listening to music and liking a song. It's like you really feel a part of what he's trying to portray. Really feel
Yeah.
part of that world.
Yeah.
100%.
Because
Yeah,
if you think back then as well, I heard someone else talking about this. I can't remember who it was, but it was like back then we didn't have all of these social media platforms and all these other like news sites that were sharing information from the hoods in America, for example. So our source of information was albums, hip hop albums. Like you'd have rappers telling stories from their hoods and how they grew up. And because we were over here and we didn't really know what was happening over there, we probably just found it so interesting to hear someone's come up story like that and to hear how different other people live. But then now, because you have social media and you just have access to everything, people are just posting videos from those hoods. Like you just kind of know what's
Yeah.
going on. If you want to know what's going on in a certain place, then you can just find a news site, find like people posting around that area, like anything. There's just so much access. So some people were saying that, is that why storytelling is getting a bit lost in like hip hop, for example, or even just like more lyrical rap? Because back then we were just like, we'd hear that because we're so interested, we just want to hear the stories. But now we see it all the time anyway.
Yeah, that's a
yeah,
good point.
that's true. Yeah, that's a really good point. Because you're right. Like that's the only real way you really got tucked into that world. But now it's just you can find it anywhere really. World star hip hop. It's
Yeah.
got all this. Yeah, it's got everything. Like anything in the hood, it's just you can find it.
Exactly, yeah. So
yeah.
it made sense. It was quite interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
I remember one album cover. It might have been a Redman album, because you remember you used to get the little booklets with it, and
Yeah.
you'd always like skim
All the
through.
pictures and
I
stuff.
think it was
yeah.
a Redman one. There was some titties in like the third page or something. So I used to bring all my albums to school because you'd have like a little CD player and stuff. But I remember having that album, and then I'd be passing it around the class, be like, "Yo, look at this album cover," and it would just circulate. And the teacher got it, and then I got into trouble for bringing it into school and like showing everyone titties.
That's funny.
How old were you?
This would have been like primary school. So, how old are you
damn.
in like year 4 or something?
Like 8.
8, yeah.
Yeah, I
super
think I
young.
was about 8. So obviously I couldn't understand where the teacher was coming from, but
That's funny.
Oh,
Do
that's
you know what I
hilarious.
used to love doing with those albums as well? You'd have the album cover, but then I used to like to get the booklet and find a different picture
The one that you
and
like the
it-
most.
and make it the main page.
Yeah.
oh
image.
yeah.
Just, yeah, bend it around either way. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, I used to do
Little
that
things like
sometimes
that.
too. Yeah,
Man, that was a
So-
struggle having that whole CD wallet back in school.
Yeah.
yeah,
I had to bring like a full CD booklet with me just to
Yeah.
listen to music on the bus to school.
yeah. And you had to make sure you got your batteries, everything. You know, your AA batteries
Yeah.
in your CD player. Make sure they're not flat.
But do you guys remember, or was you guys keen on LimeWire when LimeWire first dropped? Was you guys on that?
My
Downloading
course,
computer
son.
was the slowest thing because of LimeWire. I had so many viruses on my my old computer because of LimeWire. Yeah, I think I downloaded the music video for How We Do on LimeWire, and it took like 3 days. I had to just leave it open because the internet was that slow. But yeah, used to bang LimeWire. That was good.
LimeWire, what was the other one? I think there was one called BearShare and one
Yeah,
called
BearShare.
Yeah,
Diaries or
BearShare.
something.
Yeah,
I remember having one of those too.
yeah. There was a point where LimeWire got like really shit, like all the files.
Full of
the songs.
viruses and shit
Yeah.
files.
Yeah, people
And
were
the
just lying
songs
about
weren't
the
the
names,
songs.
innit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was Soldier Boy that started that, and then everyone just started doing it.
Yeah, they'd rename stuff. I remember, I think it was LimeWire. Who was it? There was that. Who was the president that got head from Monica Lewinsky? The US president.
Oh, Bill Clinton. Is it him?
Was it Bill Clinton? Yeah, you know that speech? He's like, I did not have sexual relations with that girl. There's like a
Oh,
famous
yeah.
speech that he does.
Yeah.
There was a period on LimeWire, right, where people were uploading that clip just repeating throughout the whole song, and they'd rename it to like whatever song was popping at the moment. So you're downloading like all these songs, and if your internet's slow, so it's taking forever to download all these songs. So then you listen back to all of them, and it's just that speech all the way through. You're like, for fuck's sake. It was like the early days of trolling, basically.
Yeah.
I remember being so annoyed. I was just like, just taking time to download that, and I'm just hearing that on repeat.
Yeah, that's jokes. Yeah. I always remember like there was not in the same way as like Trolley, but it used to take a while to get a good copy of a song because there'd be so many different versions of it, the exact same song, but like a bunch of them would have like a website plastered all over it. That'd be like
Oh yeah,
HQsongs.com, and it just keep almost like the BeatStars tag. It just keep
Yeah.
repeating, and it was just it took a little while to find like a clean, no like overlays version of the song. Yeah,
then what came after that? It was the Pirate Bay era after that.
Yeah.
I remember going from like LimeWire to just using Pirate Bay to get full
Same.
albums.
yeah,
Yeah, and just downloaded instead of one-off tracks, just full-on projects.
Yeah.
yeah,
It went from me using LimeWire and downloaded one tracks to MP3s, like USB MP3s,
Mhm.
yeah.
to downloading full projects and then kind of converting it so it can be played on my iPod.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Couldn't you crack an iPod Touch so you could just download stuff for free as well? Like you can get cracked.
There was a way, yeah.
There was a way to crack
Was
it,
it?
yeah. Yeah. So like you just pay someone to like put some code into it, and then you just can go on Apple like iTunes and just download everything for free, or just listen to everything for free.
Oh, that's pretty sick. I can't remember
Yeah.
that. I remember being able to jailbreak iPhones, and
Yeah.
you'd be able to get like any app for free.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I remember
yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
I
when
did
you
the
could
same
just.
thing
That
with
was when there was
PSP.
no subscriptions.
PSPs, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
did that as well actually. PSPs were sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised there. Maybe there is. I'm so out the loop. A newer version of that.
Yeah.
I
there's
think
gotta be
there's a
somewhere.
version where you have to have like a PlayStation, but then you can have like a portable version of it, but you have to have a PlayStation to use it.
Oh yeah. My friend's got that
think-
with his Xbox. Like he's got an Xbox at home, but then he's got like an app on his phone where turns it on remotely via the Wi-Fi or
Oh,
something,
okay.
and then he can play it, for his phone. That makes sense.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a bit out of the loop with games as well. We were saying in the last one, weren't we? But I haven't really played anything in a
Mm.
long time, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did play with
But
my
it's-
boy at the weekend. There's this. I don't know if you've seen it pop up on like Lab Bible or
Pause.
something. Hey.
Said pause.
Oh my God. God's sake. It's an hour long and I've only just thought I was doing so well.
Almost there.
Almost there. But it was this game where it's one of them like indie games. You just gotta keep climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing to the top of the map. And then when you get to the top, you've completed it. But it's multiplayer and you're two guys and you're chained together. Like you've got like a metal chain connecting both of you. So you've got to like do it at the same pace, if that makes sense. So
Yeah,
that was quite an interesting one. Yeah. I'm not going to go
We need
into
this,
details because I'm going to sound gay.
How about this producer FIFA tournament? I think Kevin replied. He dropped a comment on the last video saying he'll play our best FIFA player or something. So we need that producer FIFA tournament.
That would be sick, That's a sick
I'll
idea.
kindly forfeit that one.
No, we need that ocean. We need an ocean rage.
Yeah, I'd like to think I'm still alright on it, but I haven't played it in a long time. We'll have a practice session first. Next producer link up, someone needs to bring a PlayStation or something.
Yeah,
This,
got to bring a
this next
console.
producer link up, we're planning this Olympic Games. Alright, let's do a race. Alright, let's play some football.
Yeah,
Oh, of course.
There's always something that we have to do.
Should just not
like,
even make beats
competitive.
in the next one. Yeah,
Trust me.
I want a rematch, like a proper football rematch as well.
Yeah,
A
me too.
five-a-side.
Yeah,
Yeah, just something like that. We're playing in not Costa Rica, in Mexico, because
yeah.
on the resort they had a football pitch, but it's just like a five-a-side pitch,
Mhm.
and there was loads of us there. So we rented it out for like half a day, and we just did like the Brits, like me and my two brothers and my cousin, versus like the Canadians, and we fucking smoked them. Like
Nice.
it was just like as soon as you score, there was like three teams. Like next team came on, and we were just on for ages. So that's just kind of reignited a flame. I'm like, we definitely need this producer rematch.
yeah. That
So
was
I
good
went
fun
out
to
just
be fair.
before you two, didn't I? And then it was
Yeah.
you two
Again?
battling it out. I went out just before you two in Cyprus, and then it was you two battling it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like us three left, and then you scored, and then
Yeah.
Arguably,
Yeah.
the best three players was left. Because we was
yeah, that's true actually. Yeah,
did
because
too much.
you were like going for it as well, and you managed to get one in.
Everyone else was just boglining, man, just standing until
Fucking Loner just stood there. He just like fucking
Tap it in
ricocheted
when
off
he
him.
gets
Yeah,
it.
he just tapped it in. Oh man. But yeah, no, that was good. Yeah, we need to run that back because that was good. Need to do that. Do FIFA. FIFA would be a funny one. Ocean, you gotta do FIFA, man.
I'm kindly sitting this one out.
Say that when it's there, you'll be in.
Yeah,
I
it'll
haven't
get
played
you.
FIFA in a while. It's been a long time.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, me too. It was like a good uni game. When I was at uni, everyone, like all the guys would just play FIFA, so I just like join in with them. Like when everyone was like pre-drinking and stuff. But since then, I've not really played it.
What other sports can you play if we did producer Olympics?
Basketball.
You would
I'm not the
smoke
best
us at basketball.
Yeah, you're the only one that plays, really.
Yeah, that's true.
You play tennis as well, actually, so you might be good at a few things.
Could do tennis.
It'd be good to find a sport where anyone can
Could do like
more or
rounders.
less do it.
Rounders.
Rounders is good fun. Or volleyball or something.
Yeah.
Or
Still need to play paddle, man. Haven't played
yeah,
paddle yet.
just about to say
or
paddle.
Even table tennis.
Table tennis. Yeah, that's a good one.
Foosball.
Foosball. Yeah. Did you guys play snooker when we went to that Airbnb in Grantham?
Oh
Massive
yeah,
snooker
Played
table.
pool, I
I
think.
played some pool. I'm terrible though.
No, that was a snooker table in Grantham.
Was it?
Was
yeah,
it?
it was
Oh
huge.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
That was a
remember
snooker
that one
table.
was huge. Yeah, nah. I'm thinking about the very first one.
Oh,
Do you
the
remember when
first
they had
one.
the pool table?
Oh, yeah, I thought you meant the
Outside.
first one.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember
Where
that
was
one.
there a snooker table? Was I there?
Yeah. The biggest one we did in Grantham. The
When there was like two separate buildings?
yeah, and we was in the cold one. If you went like,
Oh, okay.
you know, that little downstairs setup that we had.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I do
There's like
remember
a
actually.
yeah, there's a snooker table like on the other side of it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember now.
yeah, it was good. I went to go see Team USA play Germany on what day was it? Monday.
In basketball.
Yeah, mate, it was
Oh,
ridiculous. It was ridiculous. I've never
that
seen
must have
anything
been
like
so
it.
good.
Yeah, like
Where did they
LeBron,
play?
0-2.
Insane. Because
Man,
the US has got a crazy team, right? I mean, I
it
I
was
saw
just
clips of
stupid.
them all landing in England actually. I didn't know what it was for. What was the game?
It was just like so before the Olympics they do like a tour of they'll just play like a bunch of expeditions before the
Oh,
almost
okay.
like warm up games, like tune up games. And yeah, they played Germany won the last championship and they played them as the last expedition and they beat them just but yeah, it was crazy, man. Just the size of you didn't realize how big everyone is. Like LeBron's just an absolute
yeah.
unit, and then there's a guy called Embiid who's like even like he's like 7 foot, and then Anthony Davis and the athleticism. First play, LeBron fast break just does this like reverse dunk through two people. I was like, how is that even possible? Like, it was just ridiculous. But yeah, that was
That would have been
sick.
sick to see.
Yeah, if you
Did
get a
you guys
chance,
watch
whenever.
the Euros, the final?
Final.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a good game. I thought it was a good game.
It's a
Yeah.
good game, yeah.
It was just
Mm.
But
unfortunate, I guess, but
Yeah,
Spain were just
I
a better
felt like
team
Spain was the
throughout the
better
whole
team. Yeah,
competition.
they kind of just deserved it.
yeah, I
Yeah.
agree for sure. Like our luck kind of just ran out in that last few minutes. Like they scored, got that amazing equalizer, and then when they went up 2-1, I was like, I still had a little bit of hope because of like what's happened in the last few games. I was like, they
Same.
might just pull
Yeah.
something out of the bag again, like they know they have done. And then when we got that corner, and it was like header, save, header off the line, header
Hmm.
over the crossbar. I was like, okay, that was the last.
Yeah.
Our
That
lucks
was the last
finally ran
chance.
out. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
but
it was unfortunate. I do feel like on paper England really should have won, but at the same time, when you're really watching these games, you just England was lucky, I
mhm.
think. That's
Throughout the whole
Yeah,
competition, really.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, got that. Yeah, just got lucky. I think two last minute, two last minute goals in two different games, like in the same within the same competition. It's like when does that
Yeah.
happen? Yeah.
Next World Cup though, it's in America, isn't it? Oh, there's going to be a
Mm.
tour. I think there's going to be like some games in Toronto, maybe something like across the states. I think so. I think I'm gonna go. Maybe try to watch a couple, or even just to be around there at that time, because I could go see the Canadian farm and then
Yeah,
go to
that'd be sick.
America. I think the
Yeah.
atmosphere would be pretty sick whilst that's happening.